Welcome back to the Bricks. I'm Ken Boyer, here for another quick Bricks update. Here to talk about a few topics going around the world of sports today and sports-related topics. I'm going to jump right in. First off, the LA Clippers was just able to land Doc Rivers from the Boston Celtics. They actually tried to acquire, Kevin Garnett and trade Kevin Garnett and DeAndre Jordan and make, a trade that way, but, that fell through. The NBA, David Stern actually stepped in once again and canceled that trade and didn't allow that to go on. But the Clippers were still able to land Doc Rivers. Chris Paul, was one of the persons, responsible for stepping in. The players saying, he wanted Doc Rivers to come there and coach him. I mean, Doc Rivers, one of the best coaches in the NBA. Of course, who wouldn't want him? But, I mean, we just seen the Miami Heat win back-to-back NBA championships by players deciding to merge together, from their respective teams where they're the superstars. And Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James in order to capture an NBA championship. I mean, now teams are literally trading and making moves to acquire players and coaches. I mean, I've never heard of that before. I mean, just the way that the NBA is going right now, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, and they're still, in talks right now and saying that, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett are, though that deal fell through with DeAndre Jordan and all those things, they're still, in talks and working to see how they can get over to the Clippers as well. So literally one team leaves. Boston loses their entire team and goes to the Clippers. So now LA Clippers have two teams. And mind you, just last year, they stopped the NBA and David Stern stopped the trade with Chris Paul to the LA Lakers but allowed Chris Paul to go to the Clippers now and team with Blake Griffin and all these guys. So now they get Boston as well to go with that team. So, I mean, next year, if all things go the way that the Clippers are planning to do it, it look like they'll, be the Boston Clippers now too. So I guess their teams are literally just still in players, coaches, anything goes now in the NBA. I'm gonna save me expanding on that for a later topic. When me and Mike Lewis and get perspectives from other people. From that, because that's just crazy to me. I mean, this is just insane. When does it end? When does it stop? And still we go around and we call these people, put them in as the best players in the league and greatest teams ever. And all. This is ridiculous. I mean, the way the league is going. But jumping into another topic, the hottest thing going right now is Aaron Hernandez, the tight end from the New England Patriots. He's just had his home searched over the past weekend. And now today, the police officers were spotted wearing scuba uniforms, searching the estate and all the water surrounding his property, for evidence in a killing, a murder investigation, which Aaron Hernandez is involved in. And this guy, obviously he was trouble from the start. Everybody knew he came with issues and problems. He was a beast in Florida, along with Percy Harvin and Tim Tebow, who he's now joined with in Boston. But he ended up falling all the way to the fourth round, a fourth-round pick, from Florida. Obviously that was, teams backed away from him and was, a little bit skeptical about jumping into that situation with him. So, it's not the only, even criminal investigation he has going on. It's still an open investigation in Gainesville regarding a shooting in a nightclub that Aaron Hernandez and four other players were questioned for. And it's still an open investigation. And, sources and people have been going back to them in Gainesville asking for information about that case, seeing, how related to this somewhat. And they're still not releasing anything because it's open. So, he may even still be, a person of interest on that end. Aaron Hernandez, from Bristol, Connecticut, he turned down a scholarship at UConn where everybody thought he was going to go to in Connecticut to go to Florida. And he said he was excited about that just to get away from his problems and the things in Connecticut. So, it's just a lot of things, going on with him, man. He's obviously had a troubled past. His father, his mother, she went to jail for, stabbing her ex-husband and things like that. It's just he's just been through a lot, man. And people figured hopefully when he went to Florida, he would get out of trouble, but he immediately surrounded himself with the wrong people. And a couple months into being in college, he got into this incident at the bar. He's failed, marijuana tests and all different things like that. So, I mean, it's just a tough going for him, man, and tough for the Patriots because now they lose Wes Welker. Gronk, I think, just had his 55th surgery again today. I mean, and now Aaron Hernandez. I mean, it's just, the Patriots aren't looking real good right now, and they just signed Tim Tebow. So, I mean, that whole organization, which is usually known for being ran the right way and being pretty low-key and straightforward and blue-collar, like now it's turned into a circus over there. I mean, but in Bristol, Connecticut, man, they get more news, on that topic. Another man, 43-year-old Jeffrey Hall, he got jailed for stabbing his neighbor. He's from Bristol, Connecticut. I mean, what is going on in Connecticut, man? I mean, first thing I heard Bristol, I'm thinking, oh, Palin again, man. The Palins are back. But no, Bristol, Connecticut, and now, people stabbing neighbors, Aaron Hernandez, out of control. I mean, just a lot of things going on, man. What the heck is going on in Connecticut? So, I mean, they can't be happy about all the bad press and coverage they're receiving. But, moving on, another topic I thought that was very important, the case of Abigail Fisher, the girl who 4 years ago, her case was sent back to a lower court from the Supreme Court. She was suing the University of Texas for claims that she was discriminated against. And she's a white female from, a suburb in Houston, Texas. And she feels that she was wrongly rejected, while minorities with similar grades. And she was pretty much average to above average, wasn't 4.2 student or nothing like that with AP classes. Nothing like that what it takes to get into a flagship university like the University of Texas. So, I mean, she sued them, just assuming, I guess, because she was rejected once again and basing it on affirmative action and all these different things, why another minority, why this black person somehow got her spot. She figures rejection. Many of us are rejected from our top colleges or top 3 colleges. And sometimes, especially out of high school, if, minorities, growing up, how they grow up and all the bad influences, if you can stay alive for one, and if you can actually graduate high school, I mean, you would probably go to maybe a community college and work your grades up and try to transfer in a year or 2 or even 3 for schools like that, like it is, going to Michigan or somewhere like that. Like it's really difficult. She feel like as an undergrad coming out of high school with average to above average grades, and she figured, she walk around campus when she received her denied, couldn't handle the slightest bit of rejection or anything like that. She look around and see a black person walk around and say, oh, wow, that guy. So how is he in? How is she in? Because obviously it's some affirmative action and they have my scholarship. You know what I mean? I deserve that. There's no way in the world I could be rejected or denied at 17 for anything ever in life. Somehow, they have my scholarship. So, I mean, I just thought that was crazy, man. And the funny thing is to say that she's, now claiming discrimination and they're trying to battle and you have people, against it and, all these different things. And I guess minorities, the people who make up like, a small percent of the population, if you can even see them, they're like a dot in a bowl of flour. You know what I mean? How many times you turn on, ESPN, or if, those of you that are fortunate to go to these colleges or see them on TV, you see the entire audience packed with, it's nothing but white fans and white people around there, but 90% of the athletes are black. That's crazy. So, I mean, I actually did a little research and looked into it. I mean, the University of Texas actually established a rule where the top 10% from the state of Texas automatically has gained admittance into the University of Texas. And since then, the minority population has increased substantially, not just blacks, but also Hispanics, but still, even at the height of that, the Texas student ethnicity, it is, was it 66% white, non-Hispanic whites, mean nothing, pure white. 66% of the student population is that. For undergrad, 50.4 is white, 4.6 is black. And for graduate, 53% is white and 3% is black. So, I mean, I don't understand where you can even, argue those points that somehow you're discriminated against because you just deserve to be there. You mean this entitlement and it stops progression and things like that. When you have people like that, they're really just, just a chink in a machine, man, that keep, us from actually coming to a place where, race isn't really, an issue, because you have people that really feel like that, even when they see another person that, oh, wow, why are you here? You're here because of affirmative action, or, you know what I mean? I deserve that spot, even though literally almost all of the population is made up by your race. You still feel slated. It's crazy. And the reason you assume is just because they let you in here because somehow, you come from a poor class or something like that. And you got here on a technicality, when really the reason that they're here is because they established a rule where the top 10% is automatically gay admittance in there, regardless of what. If you're in the top 10% of your class, regardless of what school you are, as long as you're in the state of Texas, you're there. That's why they're there, for academic achievement, not deficiencies in their ability to learn or it's crazy. It just builds on it and compounds to the stereotype, and let you know that racism and discrimination does exist, but on the opposite end. You see that now. I mean, if you feel that you're just entitled, or you're elitist, or you're this or that, you feel like you should get in just because basically on the color of your skin, they have no idea how to be rejected. We deal with rejection, every day, all of our lives. We go around, you can drive around the city of Detroit or any, suburb, any rural or urban area and see, rejection and everything and everywhere, and poverty and oppression. But, and you have an opportunity to, okay, you feel that you're this way. You have every advantage. You come from this prep school, suburb, everything, the best schools, and be in the top 10%, you're guaranteed in. You wouldn't even have to go through that. That's on equal footing. Now, when you're on equal footing with that, those people surpass you, and all of a sudden you're in uproar. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, that's something that I think that, it's just, it's really sad, man. And you have that link to sports and education. These guys come in, you see 90% of the people, the athletes are black, and all of the fans rooting for them are white, and white coaches and, white assistants and staffs, and even towel boys, I don't know. It's crazy, but that's it for now. I'm Kieran Boyer here for your Quick Bricks update. We'll see you soon.